The following program is presented by Pain Free Life Centers of Michigan.
News Talk 760 WJR presents Living Pain Free with host Warren Pierce and special guest Jeff Morton. For WJR, here's Warren.
All right, Mark, welcome into a real good-looking Tuesday evening, and we're hoping before now and 8 o'clock, those of you who are experiencing all sorts of pains or someone you know is going through migraines or rotator cuff injuries or knee tendon ruptures, perhaps even a shoulder injury or a lower back problem. Through the course of the next hour or so, our expert on the subject, who we've talked with before, and they've gotten certainly a great response whenever we've had an opportunity to chat, Jeff Morton, as director of the Pain Free Life Centers of Michigan, located out there in Troy. And I've passed along all kinds of statistics. Certainly you don't need me to tell you, and maybe our listeners don't necessarily need me to tell them, that an estimated 100 million Americans suffer from chronic pain. Persistent daily activities like driving a car becomes very difficult. Sitting at a desk or going to the supermarket can become daunting. So between now and 8 o'clock, we're going to talk about a way to reduce or eliminate the pain that you're experiencing. And it's chronic pain that lasts more than 12 weeks, something like that. It affects the young, the old, men, women, and everyone in between. And this goes back, 30 years or so, when lasers began to be used as opposed to drugs or surgery or anything else to eliminate or reduce pain.
Well, Warren, laser therapy actually is standard operating procedure in Europe, and it took grasp here in the States in the veterinary world. And it's been used by animals and veterinary doctors, circus, Barnum and Bailey and circus, until about 2003 when the FDA cleared low-level laser for use on humans. And it's just the strides that we've made from a technical standpoint and what the lasers can do, and even the quality of the lasers is kind of comparing a flip phone to a smartphone. It's just been unbelievable the last just 7 years that we've been treating humans.
Folks coming to you who have tried the over-the-counter drugs, the prescription drugs that can become addictive, and we'll talk about that. Talking about surgery, are they coming to you after they've tried other things, or has word spread that, before you do anything else, go see Jeff, try this, you have absolutely nothing to lose?
Well, unfortunately, most of our patients are still coming to us as a last resort, and that's why I am so passionate about getting people to understand that there is an opportunity and an option to the drugs, the surgeries, and the terrible side effects. I mean, last month we had a guest on here at 58 years old. He had complete bowel reconstruction because of over-the-counter medications. We're not even talking about the damage that the opiate drugs can do. I want to let the listeners know, and I want to give a shout-out to my wellness coordinators back at the office because they're standing by to take anybody's call to book appointments, and they're staying late because we're so passionate at Pain Free Life Centers to help people live a better quality of life without the drugs and side effects, that they're there now to take their calls.
All right, and we're going to take some calls for you too, but 248-879-1100 is the number for the wellness coordinators. And if you've heard about this through, newspapers or radio or TV, the stories increasingly are passed along. And the one that we've mentioned, the most recent, Jeff, revolves around the Carolina Panthers All-Pro defensive end, Jared Allen, who 2 weeks before the Super Bowl game breaks his ankle.
Yeah, he broke his foot.
You wouldn't think in a million years that he's going to be ready for the Super Bowl game. But they flew in, somehow they got a laser, and they brought it into the training room. They began to work, and 2 weeks later, in that Super Bowl game, there he was playing.
Well, that's true, and it's amazing because if anybody out there has ever broken a foot, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. And the night before the game at the players' banquet, he was seen wearing a pair of cowboy boots. And they gave him 3 treatments of laser every day, 7 days a week for 3 weeks, and he was able to play in the Super Bowl.
Wow. So, again, for the benefit of those who don't know, how is the laser able to do this treatment to reduce and eliminate pain, no matter where it is, from head to toe and everywhere in between?
Well, most of the pain in our body, Warren, is caused by inflammation. So what happens is we have unhealthy cells that are creating unhealthy tissue. Unhealthy tissue restricts blood flow. When you restrict blood flow, that creates inflammation, which causes most of the pain. Any type of condition that ends with itis, bursitis, tendinitis, plantar fasciitis, arthritis, those are all inflammatory conditions, and we treat a lot of those conditions, among others. So what happens is the photons of light penetrate to the cellular level and give the cell the ability to produce a protein called adenosine triphosphate, otherwise known as ATP. When this happens, it creates a physiological change in the cell, and the cell actually releases an enzyme called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the body's natural anti-inflammatory enzyme, so it will reduce the inflammation. So what happens is, it's pretty amazing. The unhealthy cells become healthy. Healthy cells create an increase of blood flow. An increase in blood flow sends enzymes and proteins to the traumatized area or the area where the pain is. That creates a lower amount of inflammation. It's an anti-edemic effect that's created in the body, and it allows the body to heal. So the brain really will go from a protect mode, where it's trying to manage the pain for the patient, to a healing mode where now it's producing enzymes and proteins that we're not producing as we get older. And this just isn't for older people. You know, we found, especially since the last show that we did, I'm seeing a lot of mid-30, early 40 patients who are real active, people that are playing, tennis and want to get back on the golf course playing hockey. I have a boxer that's coming in, and these guys are in pain because, they're active, but their bodies aren't healing as quick. So this whole process has been given a name by scientists, and that process is your favorite word, photobiomodulation.
Right. And the laser doesn't it stimulate, from listening to you over the years, the development of fibroblasts, and that's really the building block of something called collagen. And I think just about everybody's heard about collagen, but may not know about how important it is in healing the body.
Well, it's the most important protein our body manufactures for soft tissue health. And that's how the laser works. It's totally natural, and it's FDA cleared with no side effects. And, I urge people to go to the website, painfreelifecenters.com. I urge them to call the office at 248-879-1100. Talk to a wellness coordinator and get your appointment made. And Warren, we've talked a long time, but maybe the listeners that are out there right now, we're so confident in what we do. When you come in, you get a consultation, and your first treatment's absolutely free.
In the session, usually you'll expect to be there about an hour. But after that, when you come in for various treatments, it's what I want to say. When I was there, 15, 20 minutes max.
Max out of 15 or 20 minutes. When you came to us, we were using 15-watt lasers. Technology is advanced to the point now where we're using lasers that can be dialed up as high as 60 watts. And Pain Free Life Centers is the only place in Michigan, outside of the University of Michigan training facility, that has access to these 60-watt lasers. We have the state-of-the-art equipment. We have the highest trained staff. We've been doing it the longest. And we're here to help people live a better quality of life. And I can't stress how passionate I am about that.
And we want to hear from listeners, too, who have questions. They're saying probably, Jeff, this is really too good to be true. It's not invasive. It doesn't even touch the skin. It's relaxing. It's warm. Wherever the pain seems to be emanating from, whether it's a migraine or plantar fasciitis in the foot or a spinal stenosis in the lower back, you don't even touch the body, but point the laser at the area where the pain is coming from.
Well, that is one of the greatest joys of being able to use a laser to treat pain, is we're able to pinpoint the source of the condition and treat the source. So if someone's having sciatic pain, for example, that resonates in the lower lumbar region, but it'll send pain or numbness or tingling all the way down to the toes. Well, we don't treat the toes or the leg or the thigh or the glutes. We treat the lower lumbar region because that's where the sciatic nerve originates from. Once we get the sciatic nerve to calm down, all the rest of the pain seems to dissipate. It's called referred pain. So we treat the source of the pain, not the symptom.
All right, and we want to introduce one of the patients that's been visiting you as well. Momentarily we'll talk to him, but we want to talk to those of you out there who have pain, or you know somebody in your family who has pain, maybe a colleague at work. If so, give us a ring at 1-800-859-0WJR. You just tell Jeff, here's the deal. I've gone through surgery, or I'm thinking about going through surgery, or I've been told to have surgery, or I've been prescribed drugs, or I've gotten over-the-counter drugs that are hurting my stuff. Whatever your pain, ring us up at 1-800-859-0WJR. That's 1-800-859-0957. Jeff's in the studio. We'll be right through till 8 o'clock. So we want to get your phone call in, and we'll see how they can help you out. Also, the number to make an appointment right now is 248-879-1100. Before we get to your incoming calls and questions, a word or two from our sponsors.
If you'd like to see how laser pain therapy can change your life, call Pain Free Life Centers now to schedule your initial no-cost consultation and free treatment. Wellness coordinators are standing by now to take your call at 248-879-1100. You have nothing to lose but your pain. Once again, that's Pain Free Life Centers at 248-879-1100 or visit painfreelifecenters.com. We'll be right back with Warren Pierce and Jeff Morton, Director of Pain Free Life Centers, on News Talk 760 WJR. Welcome back as Warren Pierce discusses the path to a pain-free life with Jeff Morton, Director of Pain Free Life Centers of Michigan. Without drugs, without surgery, and without side effects, laser pain therapy is a revolution in pain management. Once again, here's Warren Pierce.
And they're so sure that they're going to be able to help you out reducing or eliminating. The first session, the first consultation, the first treatment is free. And we've got folks incoming on the phone lines, and we want to get to them, Jeff, and find out what kind of pain they have, how many other listeners can relate to that, and what you might be able to do for them. Also, you brought along a guest, Arnie Fink, who's born and raised in the area, and as you well know, he's athletic, he's a military guy, he's a tough fella. And Arnie, you went over to see Jeff in the Pain Free Life Centers of Michigan out there in Troy, I want to say a half year or so ago?
Approximately.
What were the symptoms?
Oh, I had a horrendous pain in my left thigh, down the center and a little bit to the left.
Was that the sciatic nerve, Jeff, that he's referring to, or where was it emanating from?
No, it was a kind of like a mystery nerve pain.
Yeah.
It wasn't emanating from the sciatic nerve, and Arnie was one of those patients that we kind of just went along as it went, and we tried different things until we found the sweet spot to make the pain go away.
How was it affecting your day-to-day life, Arnie?
Many days I couldn't walk. Other days when I wasn't in tears from the pain, I did the best I could to get around it. And this has been a 5-year ordeal for me. 6 or 7 back surgeries, epidurals, nerve ablation. You name the medication I was on it. Gabapentin, Lyrica, lidocaine patches, everything but...
A little stronger than Aleve and Motrin.
Yeah, I did everything but witchcraft.
These are drugs, Jeff, that you can become addicted to. And I think something like, I think I saw the figure, 20 to 25% of the people who are prescribed these drugs, prescription drugs, do in fact become addicted to them.
Well, not only do they become addicted to them, because the way the body works is with the drugs, the more drugs you take, the more drugs you need, and the stronger drug you need, because your body builds a resistance up to the opiate that is in your system. And one of the things that I'm incredibly passionate about, Warren, and we've talked about it before, is that the FDA just cleared OxyContin for children as young as 11. So now we're out trying to talk to athletic directors. Mike Jolly, from former Green Bay Packers athletic director at Troy Athens, he was a patient, and he got me invited to speak to the Michigan High School Athletic Association and all their athletic directors, because if the U.S. citizens think there's a heroin epidemic now that they've cleared OxyContin for children as young as 11, and I have 12-year-old twin girls that play soccer, you just wait 6 or 7 years, and you start putting OxyContin into these kids what's going to happen to them. And as we spoke before, not only does it create an addiction, but it does damage to your body, your digestive system, the stomach lining, the liver. I mean, listen, we had a guy on last month that had complete bowel reconstruction because of Excedrin.
Right.
So, I mean, that it is. And, you know, Arnie was a tough patient for us as far as to get
Yes,
to
you're
get
trying
results.
to figure out exactly what was causing that pain, and how did you hear about Jeff and the Pain-Free Life Centers of Michigan out there in Troy, Arnie?
One of my best friends who has been with me during this ordeal for over 5 years talked with somebody else at breakfast who was a patient and got great results from Jeff. And he said to me, because he knew I was at the wit's end, like I say, the last procedure that I had was a nerve ablation, and I don't remember it because you go to sleep. And that didn't do anything. And so he basically said, look, what have you got to lose? And that's what I did. And I made an appointment, met with Jeff, and after about the 10th visit, I woke up one morning and this horrendous pain that I've been living with was gone.
How many visits, how many sessions did you have before the pain began to be alleviating?
10.
And that was it.
For me, that was it. It was like an unbelievable blessing. I mean, 5 years of absolute agony at times. And since 6 months ago, I have not had the pain. I haven't had a return of the pain. And as Jeff said, I'm not one for medications. But all these doctors were putting me on. I took gabapentin. I took 4 tablets before I quit that stuff because I'm bouncing into the walls. Lyrica did nothing. You name it, I tried it. And I'm just very, very thankful that I listened to my friend, and I ended up at the Pain-Free Life Center.
Which is good news. And we'll take some incoming calls, too. And those of you who are waiting, if you get a busy signal, be patient. We'll get you through to Jeff Morton, who here is one of our monthly get-togethers as the director of the Pain-Free Life Centers of Michigan, located in Troy. While you're waiting to get on the air with Jeff, feel free to give them a buzz there, because they are waiting at the Pain-Free Life Centers, the wellness coordinators. Mark this number down, 248-879-1100. Go ahead and make an appointment. Have a consultation. Have a treatment. It won't cost you a thing. As we go to, let me see. Let's go to Sterling Heights. Sterling Heights. Janet, you've been waiting patiently. What kind of pain problem did you have that you wanted to share with Jeff and find out what can happen?
Well, it's not my pain problem. It's for my husband.
All right.
He is in remission now from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Well, that's good.
And, yeah. A result of the chemo is neuropathy in his feet.
Yep, sure is. Janet, well, great that your husband's in remission. That's an amazing thing, and so
yes.
God bless to you guys. I treat neuropathy every day, and I'm very straightforward about neuropathy because your neurologist will tell you that the nerve tissue can't heal, but it can.
Because that's what we've been told.
Right,
yeah.
and it can, and if any of my neuropathy patients are listening to the show, they will call in and they will tell you that it has changed their life. But the one thing I will tell you is most of the neuropathy that I treat is from diabetes.
Yes.
And that is a natural dissolution of the myelin sheathing protecting the nerve root ending. When it's chemotherapy, the same thing happens, but it's chemically induced. And I have incredible success with chemotherapy neuropathy. However, it's a long process. Most people that come see me that have neuropathy from chemotherapy will notice an immediate improvement, and then it's kind of like a slow grade up because we're battling the chemical and the poison from the chemotherapy, and we're pushing the blood flow to the nerve root so it'll heal. But I treat it every day. And if you make an appointment for your husband and bring him in, we'll give him quality of life back.
All right, Janet, did you mark the number down, make an appointment?
Oh, I already have the number.
All right, 248
already marked it down.
879 1100.
One thing I just wanted to add was his last chemo treatment was July 2015, and thank God he's still doing good. So is that like a plus on his side?
That is a plus on his side, but the chemotherapy is still in his system. So we'll help him. And I just read a study from Harvard Medical School that showed between a 52 and 94% reduction in the condition. So if we can get him 50% better, would you call that a success?
Oh, I'd call it awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Good luck, Janet. Thanks for calling in. As we head to Ortonville. Russ has been. Is that you, Russ, or Ross?
Russ.
Yeah. Welcome into News Talk 760 WJR. Did you personally have a pain that you wanted to somehow, some way solve with Jeff this evening?
Well, I wanted some information. I have had ongoing chronic pain from back surgery 10 years ago, and I have been on morphine, 60 milligrams of morphine twice a day, hydrocodone, 10/325 3 times a day, and gabapentin, 800 milligrams twice a day.
What kind of impact does that have on your day-to-day life, Ross?
Terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I have learned to function. I have a full-time job that I'm responsible for, a construction project, and I've continued to live my life fairly normal, but it impacts it greatly. I don't have any motivation to do anything social or, wherever I go, I'm in pain.
Yeah. And lower back pain is what? One of the most often...
70% of the patients I see, Russ, are back pain patients, and 85% of those patients have had one, if not multiple surgeries. And I'm just going to tell you a story, okay? I had a woman who came to see me a year ago who had a subdermal pain pump, and it was full of morphine. And after 7 months of treatment, now they are running saline through her pump. She's in no pain. And the only reason why the doctor won't take the pump out is because the insurance company won't pay to put it back in if she ever needed it again. Mm-hmm. So, with the laser therapy, it'll be a slow process, and your internal doctor will have to help wean you off your medication, but you need to get off those drugs, and they're killing you on the inside, and they're not.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I've talked to the doctors, and I've gone to some of the best neurosurgeons around and back surgeons, and they tell me that because of the synthetic makeup of these drugs today, that they're not the risk that they used to be. And, as you said, I have only once, thank God, had to increase the dosage on the morphine since I started taking it.
Right.
But, I have been concerned about that, how it's affecting my internal organs, and they tell me not to be that concerned, that it's not that large of a risk. I'm addicted. I mean, I just went through withdrawals. I couldn't get my I'm working down in Ohio, and because of a screw up with the post office, I wasn't able to get my prescription in time, and I went through 5 days of agony like a heroin addict.
All right, well, you got to check in, and he's in Ortonville, Jeff. But you got people coming. You got people coming from all over, not only Metro Detroit and Michigan. You got folks coming up from Ohio.
I got people that come as far south as Waldron, Michigan. I got a 77-year-old woman that comes from Waldron. That's a 3-hour drive each way. As far south as Findlay, Ohio. Tecumseh, Hillsdale, Albion, Jackson. I mean, they come from all over, and they're coming 2 to 3 times a week. And because it works, I have people come from Windsor, Sarnia, London, Ontario.
Yeah, so Ross, take down the number, make an appointment. You'll have nothing to lose except these prescription drugs and the pain you're experiencing. Did you get the number?
I have it, yeah.
All right, great. 248-879-1100. Good luck with that as we continue. Incoming calls here at WJR, 1-800-859-0WJR. That's 1-800-859-0957. Jeff Morton in the studio from one of our monthly visits as they do their best to reduce or eliminate the pain. That's what they're dedicated to doing in this non-invasive, drug-free program, FDA clear, this laser therapy. That's what it's all about. It doesn't even touch your skin. Anyway, we'll talk more about that after some words from our sponsors.
If you'd like to see how laser pain therapy can change your life, call Pain Free Life Centers now to schedule your initial no-cost consultation and free treatment. Wellness coordinators are standing by now to take your call at 248-879-1100. You have nothing to lose but your pain. Once again, that's Pain Free Life Centers at 248-879-1100 or visit painfreelifecenters.com. We'll be right back with Warren Pierce and Jeff Morton, Director of Pain Free Life Centers, on News Talk 760 WJR. Welcome back as Warren Pierce discusses the path to a pain-free life with Jeff Morton, Director of Pain Free Life Centers of Michigan. Without drugs, without surgery, and without side effects, laser pain therapy is a revolution in pain management. Once again, here's Warren Pierce.
All right, welcome back in. We've got callers waiting on the line at 1-800-859-0WJR. While you're waiting to get on or listening to Jeff talk about ways to eliminate the over-the-counter drugs, the Motrins, the Aleve, the prescription drugs, the surgery that invariably will be tried for those who somehow, some way can't get rid of their, among other things, spinal stenosis, lower back pain, pain in the neck, migraine headaches, plantar fasciitis. Take the number down, 248-879-1100. Whether it's you, your family member, someone you know at work, it's a free consultation, and the first opportunity to experience the laser is free as well. And waiting patiently over there in Grass Lake, Marcus, what was your particular problem that you wanted to mention here on WJR to Jeff Morton?
About 14 months ago, I had carpal tunnel release surgery on my left hand, and it was just a minor cuts in the palm of the hand. But now it has translated, I think, up into my elbow on my left arm. If you have your arm straight out, palm down, just right above the elbow to the forearm, there's that little soft spot, I guess what you call it your funny bone, maybe?
Yeah.
Or I guess the funny bone might be on the underside of it, but on the top side, it is extremely sore and tender, and I purchased one of those braces you put on your arm, like for tennis elbow.
Right.
But what can you do for that and along with carpal tunnel? Because I think I'm getting it back into the right hand.
Yeah. What do you figure caused that, Marcus?
Excuse me, sir?
What Marcus? What do you figure caused that? What were you doing at a computer?
In my younger days, it was repetitive motion. I operated a 920 cat loader, and it was the levers on the right hand, constantly moving them. And prior to that was auto body repair, hot paint guns, sanders, and things like that, just constant use of the hand. But the last 20 years, I've been driving tractor-trailer truck. So my hands are constantly on the steering wheel, and that's on my left hand for sure is what caused it from hanging on the steering wheel all the time. And the doctor up in St. Louis had stated that, I need to get an armrest pad to be putting on my door panel so my elbow has more to sit on. But I'm having a heck of a time with this pain on the elbow. My arms seem to be going to sleep at night, and it's really interfering with my sleep to the point where I wake up several times at night with my hands and arms numb, tingling, and throwing them off the bed one way or the other, and it just it sucks.
And I would think, Jeff, too, you're getting same situation, symptoms from those who are sitting at a desk in front of a computer all day long?
Yeah, carpal tunnel usually is a condition that is brought on by somebody who's constantly doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. I've seen patients. I had one patient who was a propeller repairman, or he pounded on propellers all day long, and he would get carpal tunnel, had carpal tunnel in his right hand. Marcus, it sounds like you got some tendonitis in the elbow, and that is going to take forever and a day to go away. And laser therapy will expedite that healing process by 65%. I treat a lot of people with carpal tunnel at the office, and I see a lot of people that have had carpal tunnel surgery, and it fails. It's a temporary relief. The ligaments are shrinking, and they need more blood flow in order to stretch out. And laser therapy would be the answer for you. Are you an OTR driver or local driver?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So
mainly East Coast. From anything from the Mississippi River on out to New York City.
I have a couple of OTR drivers that they come in for a week or two. They're home. They come get treatments, and then they're gone for 6 or 8 weeks. they come back and they get treatments, or they'll take 4 weeks off, or whatever their schedule is. I treated probably 4 or 5 OTR drivers, so I understand. And bouncing around in that seat, even though it's probably air suspension seat, the head. Bounces. The head bounces around, and the tingling in your arms could be something in your neck. So, I might suggest you go get an MRI done on it.
All right, and take the number down too. All right, Marcus.
I do. I already got it wrote down. Thank you.
All right.
It.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in, and good luck. And in our studio, Arnie Fink, who has visited the clinic over there, and the wellness coordinators are standing by, waiting to make an appointment for you and get you in on a laser session at 248-879-1100. But Arnie, you were going through this severe sharp pain, the atrophy in your left leg. You were talking about that, the left thigh. You were desperate. It almost sounded like you became addicted to prescription drugs that doctors prescribed for you. And I'm guessing you're kind of a skeptical guy, knowing your background, athletic and a military person too. But what finally, and you mentioned earlier, some friends mentioned trying laser therapy at the Pain-Free Life Centers of Michigan out there in Troy. But were you even, I'm guessing, skeptical going to the office before you began to get the treatments?
You know what, Warren? I'm a skeptical person by nature, and going to the drugs, I don't take those drugs. I didn't want to take those drugs, and I basically didn't. I had OxyContin. You name it. I've been prescribed it by a number of doctors.
6 back surgeries?
I think it was 7, but yes, 2 fusions, exploratory and so forth. But I'll tell you what I did. I met with Jeff. I was very, very impressed. I was impressed with the office. The help that I observed and talked to were very, very professional. They knew what they were talking about. So I met with Jeff on a Saturday morning, and he convinced me I should come back for more treatments. Well, just being a skeptical person by nature, when I came back for each appointment 3 times a week, there were several other people waiting their turn to get the laser treatment. And what I would do is I would strike up conversations with these people. Hi, how are you?
Right.
What are you here for?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been treating? Has it helped? Hasn't it helped?
Almost it sounds like using your legal background here to put these folks on the stand almost.
Perhaps, but I was getting tremendous positive feedback from all of these people. And I was asking, how long have you been here? And we're talking knees, elbows, arthritic conditions throughout the body. And I must have talked to at least 10, 12 different people over the visits that I had. And I came away that everybody can't be wrong. These people were having success. They were feeling better. And the one thing I liked about Jeff, I liked his honesty. He never told me, look, I'm going to cure you. He says, but I think I can make your condition a lot better than what it is. I appreciate honesty. I found out that all the other people that were there really enjoyed coming there and that they were benefiting from his treatment.
All right, and now's the time to make that call for the free consultation and the free treatment, and we'll we'll try to get to the rest of you waiting online. But in the meantime, you have nothing to lose except, as they say, the pain by calling 248-879-1100. As we talk with Jeff, he brought in a guest here. He's the director at the Pain-Free Life Centers of Michigan out there in Troy, and some final incoming calls after you listen to this here with Warren and Jeff on WJR.
If you'd like to see how laser pain therapy can change your life, call Pain-Free Life Centers now to schedule your initial no-cost consultation and free treatment. Wellness coordinators are standing by now to take your call at 248-879-1100. You have nothing to lose but your pain. Once again, that's Pain-Free Life Centers at 248-879-1100 or visit painfreelifecenters.com. We'll be right back with Warren Pierce and Jeff Morton, Director of Pain-Free Life Centers, on News Talk 760 WJR. Welcome back as Warren Pierce discusses the path to a pain-free life with Jeff Morton, Director of Pain-Free Life Centers of Michigan. Without drugs, without surgery, and without side effects, laser pain therapy is a revolution in pain management. Once again, here's Warren Pierce.
Revolutionary, but it's been around, Jeff. For those who are just tuning in, for 30 years they started working with dogs and animals, and then folks got the idea in training rooms at various sporting facilities that the laser would help reduce pain and eliminate pain, as they found out prior to the Super Bowl game, this last Super Bowl. And as you explained, the laser, and it doesn't even touch the skin, the laser creates these photons of light, and they penetrate the damaged cells. And when that happens, there is pain relief, and the inflammation gets reduced.
That's right, Warren. There are actually 714 different frequencies of light that can be combined to create laser diodes that do all kinds of things. There's lasers that grow hair, remove tattoos, shrink fat cells. And the specific wavelengths of light that we use at Pain-Free Life Centers is specifically designed to penetrate below the skin to the cellular level and give the cells the nutrients that they need to get healthy. That creates vasodilation, which is an increase of blood flow. So now the blood is carrying the enzymes and proteins that the cell and tissue needs to get healthy. That creates a natural anti-edemic effect in the body, and it helps the pain go away.
And very quickly here, too, you're working with car insurance, too, which is something comparatively new since you and I have been talking over the
Yeah, just starting in December, I got probably 5 or 6 different auto carriers that are paying us for auto insurance victims. I had actually one patient, 46-year-old male, in an auto accident, had a torn labrum in his hip, and they wanted to do surgery, and a doctor referred him to us, and after 24 treatments, his labrum was 95% healed.
All right, Bloomfield Hills. Michael, I know you've been patient, too. What's your particular problem? We've got you on News Talk 760 WJR with Jeff Morton.
Okay. Well, about 6 or 7 years ago, I had lower back pain, and my doctor prescribed something called Flexerol. I'd take it, it would go away. And then, 6, 7 months ago, I started getting a back pain, lower back pain, and my left leg has needles, feels like needles are all pricking through it. And my wife always keeps reminding me, wherever I go, stand up straight, because I walk hunched over to compensate for the pain in my back. And the doctor, for my physical, said, well, you need to exercise, you need to stretch, you need to do this, that, and the other. And that has not helped. So I'm sitting in a chair as I'm talking to you now. As soon as I stand up, I have pain. I have needles going.
Well, now, would someone, Jeff, like Michael, need to bring in the MRIs or X-rays that they have taken, or do you just treat the area without having to see any of that Michael might want to take with him?
Well, Warren, I've been doing this so long. I'm the senior laser tech in the state of Michigan, probably one of the top 10 in the country. And I've seen everything, from professional athletes to the director of the DSO to radio personalities. And Michael, it sounds like you either have sciatica or maybe piriformis syndrome, which is putting some pressure on the sciatic nerve, which is causing the tingling. What I would tell you to do, and Arnie's sitting here shaking his head, and I know he's going to hop on the radio, is, you need to come on in. We're real close to you, and let me take a look at you and give you a treatment and see what kind of relief you get.
And as you know, Arnie, he's not going to really do any treatments or continue if he doesn't think he can help, right?
That's what I like so much about Jeff. Michael, I want to tell you something. I don't think anybody has had the extensive back trouble problems that I've had for 5 to 6 years. And I did everything that you can name. Maybe I didn't mention I did acupuncture.
I tried that too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did not work for me. And as I said, I did everything but witchcraft. So for me, to give it a try, and I'll tell you what your doctor told you to do, which is in fact correct. You need to stretch. And if you'll do the combination of this laser treatment along with legitimate stretching. Honest to God, if I were a betting man, I would say that Jeff could have you diminish your pain significantly within a matter of weeks.
Did you take Michael? Did you take the number down and make an appointment?
Oh yeah, 879-1100.
You got it. Area code 248. All right. And good luck and thanks for calling in here as we switch over. Yeah.
Warren, you and I worked together at WJR Radio years ago. I was a regional sales manager.
Oh, good for you.
Went off to Sports Illustrated in New York.
Wow. Well, that's it.
You and I, the last time we chatted, I ran into you at Buddy's Pizza on Northwestern Highway.
That's it. And I've been here since, 1975? When were you over here, Michael?
I left in 1980. We were neighbors. I lived at Lone Pine in Franklin.
Yeah. Well, they're going to take care of your pain.
Thank you.
Yeah, because Robert Jacobs won't do that. He'll fill your stomach with all kinds of good pizza over there at Northwestern and Middle Belt. And he's dealt with some pain, too, over the years as well. But thanks for calling in, and good luck with Jeff as we head to Royal Oak. Diane, again, waiting patiently. Go ahead. You're on WJR with Jeff Morton, who's the director of the Pain-Free Life Centers of Michigan, located out there in Troy. What have you been experiencing, Diane?
Hi, I've got a couple questions. It's for a friend that's got continuous back pain similar to what everybody's been describing. And before I recommend this, I'd like to know, are there any negatives on laser? And does insurance, like regular medical insurance, cover this? And if not, how much does it cost? And then what are your credentials?
Okay, great questions, and I'm glad you asked all three. First of all, there are zero negative effects of laser therapy. I've treated people with pacemakers, artificial joints, artificial limbs, subdermal pain pumps, you name it, I've seen it. There's zero negative effects with laser therapy. Two, unfortunately, it's not covered by insurance in 48 of the 50 states, and Michigan happens to be one of those states. But a series of treatments is usually less than somebody's deductible or office copays. And three, my credentials, I studied with the American Institute of Medical Laser Applications, the AIMLA, which is out of Columbus, Ohio, the International Laser Pain Association, and International School of Laserology. I've been a laser tech since 2009. I've seen thousands of patients. I've treated plenty of professional athletes here in the city. As a matter of fact, Jimmy Carson's dad, Chuck Carson, was in today. He's a patient. I've treated Dave Rosema, John Ogrodnik, Leonard Slacken, the director of the DSO, was a patient. I've treated judges, state senators.
What about Number 7's wife?
No, and I treated Number 7's wife too. That's right. And plenty others that I could talk about, Diane. But you know what you really need to do is bring your friend in and read some of the testimonials that are in our office and talk to the people that are there and see for yourself. I don't push this on anybody. I push wellness, and I'm passionate about what I do. And if I can't help your friend, I won't take her as a patient.
All right. Do you have the wellness coordinator's number? I mean, I have nothing to lose. Go in. It's the treatment's free. The consultation's free. So you're going to stop over there, Diane?
I won't be, but I'll certainly pass this information on. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for calling in. Let me see if we can get one more quick one in here before we're out of time. Berlin Township. Dave, is that you? Let me see. I don't know where Dave is. But do you want to go with Dave or
let's go Randy?
That's fine.
Randy? Yeah, let's go to Randy in Columbiaville. Are you checking in with us from there right now, Randy?
Yes, I am.
All right, go ahead. What was your situation?
Hey, real quick, my daughter last Memorial Day weekend was ejected in a car accident, and she received some facial injuries, had a broken bone in her neck, and took road rash all down her left side where she slid about 25, 30 feet into a ditch. The eye healed fine. The neck healed relatively quickly. What she's experiencing now is on the left side, and she's been to orthopedic doctors. She's been to every kind of doctor. The U of M looked at her case and said here a couple of weeks ago, well, we don't think there's anything we can do for you. You're just going to have to learn to live with that. I, as a father of a 22-year-old daughter, I'm not satisfied with that. Nor with the, well, let's just, for the next 50 years, just treat the symptoms with medicine. So, we're kind of at a wit's end, and I just looked at her and I said, I'm not happy with that answer. I'm going to find somebody that will do something. All they can come up with is she might have a nerve. When it flares up, and it flares up often, it'll put her down. She'll throw up instantaneously. But there's nothing physiologically they can find wrong with
Jeff,
the body,
what do you think?
as far as
What can you, how can you help out?
Well, real quick, Randy, the laser will help. If there's any nerve damage, it'll help regenerate the nerve tissue. Your daughter sounds like a case kind of like how Arnie was, where we really didn't know what the problem was. We just found it, and then we fixed it.
Right, yeah.
And so
exactly.
all I can tell you to do is call the office, make an appointment, and get her in.
All right. And the number to call, because we're out of time now, 248-879-1100, or you can go online to painfreelifecenters.com and check them out. The Pain Free Life Centers of Michigan. They're located in Troy. You've got the website there to go to, the email, the phone number. Arnie Fink, thanks for checking in as well. And you'll keep us posted, Jeff, on how you're doing. We'll talk again soon. Right